Sentry on your screen, all your likes get taken. He don't care about the distribution and the circulation. What's up with the scope and the articulation? He can't be himself. People trying to slander his suit. He's just out here trying to give a solid review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Sentry Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Ant-Man series Ultron Build-A-Figure. First and foremost, I just want to say what's up guys. It's been a long time. I felt like I haven't talked to any of you guys forever, and there's so many good figures coming out nowadays. I gotta get back into it, man. So here I am. I'm going to be reviewing the Ultron Build-A-Figure that just came out with the Ant-Man series. And overall, first impressions on this figure, I'm pretty happy with it, man. You know, it's not too bad. It does have its problems like any other figure. Mainly the problem I have with it is the paint, but we're going to get into that in just a second here. First and foremost, I want to give you guys like a little Ultron comparison. I guess is this, because he has two versions in the movie, right? So this is Ultron, I guess Mark 1. I'm not really sure. But here we got the Marvel Select Ultron, which I've always really liked. And I thought was the standard for Ultron figures up until this guy was released, but this is a movie version, so of course you gotta, try to get all versions of them, Mark 1, 2, and 3. Then of course we've got the old school Marvel Legends Toy Biz Ultron with this blue hint. I don't even know if I can get this thing to stand up, to be honest with you. It's kind of hard to. And then there is another Ultron that I am missing. That's the one from the Iron Man 3 Iron Man Legends set. I never really cared for that one at all, so I never even bothered picking that one up. But we can kind of see how he stacks up next to the other Ultrons. This guy's about to fall. See, I told you, you can't even stand up. But you can see he is a lot taller than your other Ultrons, even the Marvel Select. And we all know that Marvel Select is a little bit out of the 6-inch range, so he's pretty tall. If you guys want to get a better idea of what he looks like next to a normal Marvel Legends, here we've got the Ant-Man series, Marvel Now Giant Man. And then, of course, just for shits and giggles, let's put in his dad, Tony Stark here. And we can see how he really stacks up. A lot taller than I thought. And I guess he's that tall in the movie. I'm not really too sure, but that's how he stacks up against your other figures here. And then let's take a closer look at this Ultron. As far as articulation goes, he does have all your standard points. He's got 2 points at the elbow. He's, of course, got the articulation at the shoulder. Nothing really new as far as articulation on this thing, just kind of standard stuff. They did do a couple of neat things. One of the neat things I do like is when they go ahead and hide the articulation, they put this like rubber patch over the kneecap there, and you can see that kind of covers it up when you move the articulation at the knee, which is pretty nice. I like this. But what you can see, you can kind of see how I was a little, not really ticked off. I wouldn't say I was angry, but you can kind of see how the paint is. You got this really nice shiny silver that's on the chest and on the head, and then it looks like it's kind of morphed into a more duller gray kind of plastic looking silver, which I think is just the wrong way to go about it. I wish they would have either painted the entire thing in this silky, silver right here. Silky, I don't know where I got that from. This shiny silver right here. It's a weird contrast when you go from the shine, that shimmering silver, and then you go into this plain gray. It's just a little weird. It's not too bad. I'm sure I could get in there and touch it up, but that is the entire back side of the figure. It's just that dull gray right there, which is kind of weird. That's one of the only problems I have with it, but as far as detailing on this figure, it's really nice. It does look a lot like the Ultron from the movie, of course. Like I said, this is Mark 1. I wish they would maybe, further down the line, they'll come out with like the Mark 2 Ultron when he's in the final battle scene. Now, that Ultron was sick. Not taking anything away from this one. This one's just as cool, but you can see all the details in the arms, He's got all his, metal forming together and everything. Really nicely sculpted. We got this red that's kind of a little bit on the front here. It's not painted in too good, but it's not painted in really bad or anything right there. And you can see that's kind of continued on the arm right there. And the head sculpt's really good. I wish they would have went with a grin or something, though. That would have been pretty cool. It's kind of just a plain expression on his face, and when watching the movie, they actually brought to life that Ultron and kind of made him feel a little human with all the expressions and all the gestures he was doing. So kind of a plain head sculpt, but other than that, it's pretty cool. You can get him in a lot of different poses and everything. It's just really upset by that gray, man. Wish they would have painted a little bit different, but this is a Build-A-Figure. And with Build-A-Figures, of course, is the ultimate problem, with, you get the free figure when you collect the entire wave, and then you go turn right around and you start complaining about the free figure you got. So it's kind of hard to complain about something that you got for free. There's not really many toy lines like Hasbro that'll do the Build-A-Figures where you get, something for free. So I feel bad for complaining about it, but it's alright. You can see some of the details on the hands here. It looks like the hands are just like your open palm for that thing he does in the movie where he's pulling stuff towards him, I'm guessing. There's not really too much detailing. My camera would pick it up. There's not really too much detailing on the hand itself. But it's alright. It's better than a closed fist because you can still get him in a flying pose and all that good stuff, so that's pretty nice. He's got these little weird slants inside the foot. Kind of give him an animal type of looking foot. I've always seen Ultron like that. You can see, especially on the Toy Biz one, you can see his feet look a lot like an animal's, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I really do. I do dig the leg articulation and the sculpting on the legs. You can kind of even see some scratch marks and everything kind of indented on there, like he's been through a little bit of battle, which is pretty nice. Lots of little details, and they even continued those details on the thigh here. And another thing I liked is that there's a little open slat where the top of the thigh is, and you can see the piece of articulation under there. I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of makes him a little bit more robotic looking. And the shoulders are always really cool with the indents and everything in there. I really like that. And the chest is really detailed. And so as far as articulation goes, let's take a look at this guy. His head's got a pretty good range of motion. It goes front and back, left and right. These are all made of soft rubber right here, so you can kind of manipulate them a little bit if you like. Then we go down into the chest. It looks like it's on a ratchet. You can kind of hear it, which is pretty cool. Too bad they didn't continue the detailing up here on the top of the chest there, but that's alright. I can get over that. I'm not really too upset. I can't imagine when I would have him in this pose. It's a little awkward looking, so not really upset about that. We go into the top of the shoulders. Of course, we've got the piece of articulation there. It goes front and back. Kind of seems like it's a little restricted right here, but you still got a pretty good range on it. And of course, articulation right there. Double jointed elbows. And we go into the hands. Standard wrist articulation. We got the 360-degree rotation. It goes front and back. That's always good. Go into the thigh. And of course, that goes front and back. This isn't really hindered too much just because of how it's designed. You can see it's kind of cut out in the bottom there. I'm not touching his crotch. I'm touching the thigh right there. You guys are perverts, man. You guys are perverts, dude. You guys need to stop doing that stuff. Anyways, you can see though, so that is kind of cut down, so you can push it in, push it out, and turn it 360 degrees. That's always good. 2 joints at the knee there. Then, of course, we go into the foot, and the foot's got a pretty good range. Now, as far as the foot swivel, you don't get too much range just because of how it's designed. You can kind of see that this side right here pops out a little bit, so you're not going to get the exact range that you want, but still a good enough range that it'll work for the figure just because of how tall he is, because you kind of don't need it to go any further than that. But on the other side, it goes really far as well, so that's really nice. So overall, I would say this is a pretty decent Build-A-Figure if you can look past the paint. I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, it's a pretty good figure. It was a great wave, and Hasbro's doing it, man. They are doing it. I can't wait to see what they got at Comic-Con next month. I'll be attending, so make sure to look out for some more videos from me trying to get back into the game, guys. I appreciate all the support all you guys have given over my absence. You guys are great. I mean, I love every one of you guys. You guys are just awesome. Always super supportive. Either hitting me up on Facebook or Instagram. Make sure to check out both of those, Facebook and Instagram. I'll put the links in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe to all my friends in the links there too. They're a little bit more active than me, so. But yeah, this is Century Productions. I will catch you guys later, and I promise I'll be putting out some more reviews for you guys, alright? Ultron out.